Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Oh my god. What episode is this? Yeah. That tastes about right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. This is another episode of Coffee and Contemplation. I happen to be your host, Old Heart. Yeah. You can call me Jared if you know me. If you don't know me, that's okay. You don't have to know me. I'm here, sitting here, wrapping up my coconut as best as I can. And I remembered that I have a reading list. You know, one of those things on your internet browser that you save articles or websites to that you're like, I want to read this or I want to, check this out. And I'm working with a new sound system here, by the way, and I'm kind of into it. Finally, kind of getting a little bit of an upgrade for myself. Shout outs to my co-host, my Old Heart Radio co-host, Lucas. Yeah, this one's for you. That claps for you. Good on you. He's got his own show going on our station here, In Tune. He's on episode 3. I think that's coming right up. But, we're chugging along, man. We got Matinee Edition, Coffee and Contemplation, In Tune. They're out there. Yeah, thanks for listening if you are listening. So today, talking about fucking CRISPR babies. Hold on. I'm talking about CRISPR babies. Okay? That's better. Talking about stupid ass CRISPR babies. And I can't necessarily call them, I still can't call them stupid because they are just babies. And I have no idea if they're going to be smarter than me. They probably will. But that's not me being jaded. That's me just, calling it like it is. So, either way, what does this have to do with reading lists, like I was rambling about earlier, whatever you want to call it earlier? It has to do with my reading list. And I a while ago, back in July, I believe, I saved an article from July 3rd, 2019. So it's about being it's about a Chinese scientist who created a third CRISPR baby. Well, I haven't helped edit a third CRISPR baby. So if you don't know what CRISPR is, though, just a real quick kind of rundown. So CRISPR stands for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats. They are kind of a feature of any bacterial defense system that forms the basis for CRISPR-Cas9 genome editing technology. So, okay. Clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. They're kind of a thing that you can use to fill in the gaps or fill in the you can kind of use them to go back and replace things in your DNA chain, we'll say, okay? Yeah, look it up. Look up CRISPR. How does the system work? A CRISPR spacer sequence is transcribed into a short RNA sequence. So, what the fuck? Okay. So anyway, it's gene editing technology. Oh, it's gene editing technology. It's weird to say that in 2019, right? Mostly, I think what struck me about that article about the third CRISPR baby is because I remember hearing about the one CRISPR baby being born and being like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? And then hearing about the second one was wild, but this one was just sort of like it happened at the Second International Summit on Human Genome Editing, which should say something to begin with. there's a big summit meeting. Like, okay, for all the nerds that are listening, like, do you remember when Sony and Disney or Marvel originally had the big Spider-Man summit meeting? It's like that. It's like a big get together of all these brainiacs trying to like figure out what to do with this specific thing. And this specific thing in this case is not Spider-Man, it is human genome editing technology. Which is fucking crazy to me. It's erased diseases from your fucking bloodline technology. It's erased, the proclivity to fucking have blue eyes or whatever. It leads down a road that is very sinister to the ideas of evolution. If you believe in evolution, kudos. If you don't believe in evolution, perhaps get on the internet and look up why you should. We all joke about the Darwin Awards. Like people that do the dumbest shit get the Darwin Award. But shit, shout-outs to Castle Roll, my co-host. Shout-outs to Uncaged listeners all over. To listeners all over. You all get shout-outs. Ho, 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 I'm the motherfucking Santa Claus of shout-outs. Here's a shout-out. I'm actually Oprah. Oprah should be Santa Claus. Oprah is Santa Claus. Shout-outs to Oprah. Cool ass motherfucking lady, I gotta be honest. I'd love to meet Oprah someday. She'd probably shout at me though. I don't know if I'm about that. Either way, that's too much contemplating. A little more coffee to balance it out. See, that contemplation needs a little coffee to balance it out. Otherwise, I become just like, yeah. Anyway, so this is a podcast. It's an audio thing. You're not looking at me, so don't look me up. Look this podcast up. So during this second international summit on human genome editing, the fucking biophysicist He Jiankyu, a Chinese biophysicist, I might add, because there's a lot of Chinese scientists are like pretty far advanced up in this CRISPR business. He just announced that he'd gone ahead and edited the DNA of twin girls with the CRISPR tech. He was just like, everybody was like, should we do this? The whole point of this summit is, should we not? And this dude's just like, what's up, motherfuckers? I already did it. To twins. It's so fucking random and weird and crazy to think about. Just this dude just randomly on a whim being like, I'm going to edit these motherfuckers' genes right now. Why? Because I can. It just seems like such a crazy thing to change the course of like the human like experience. How does this where does this road lead? I want to talk to somebody on that other episode that other show I'm trying to get off the ground, Local Yokels. I want to talk to somebody that can explain CRISPR better. That's what I need to do. I need to try and find somebody from one of the local colleges to like sit down with me and try to explain the CRISPR gene editing tech better. Because from what I understand, it blows my fucking mind. And I think that it's just like something that 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, they would be writing about in like science fiction books. You know what I mean? And that just brought me like full circle around to the like whole other thing about like, what's this phone I'm fucking staring at? What's this computer I'm using to record? Like, holy shit, these were all just bits and pieces of things that people had like imagined and dreamed up and then eventually like fucking built. It's the human fucking mind, man. Shit's powerful. God damn. Yeah. But I mean, like personally, with this CRISPR stuff, do I think that gene editing is a good thing? I don't know. Like, I mean, I definitely understand that it's got to be a hard experience I don't know how to say this, because some of the best people, some of the most genuine fucking life forms, human beings that I've ever met have been people with Down syndrome, for instance. But like, I can understand that, like, maybe as like a person bringing another person into this world, you might want to have them have as easy of an experience as possible, whether that's being immune to diseases, or, you know, whether that's like nipping, you know, like Down syndrome in the DNA sequence before they're born, or whether it's just making sure your kids have blonde hair. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck does that all entail once we just burst open that doorway of editing the genes of life forms before they begin? Shit's fucking wild to me, man. It blows my fucking mind. I don't mind saying that. Why? Because I'm a humble ass human being. Which also makes me think, makes me contemplate. If a person calls themselves humble, how humble are they? I don't know. I really don't know. It's fucking wild. So I don't know. If anybody's listening, get on the Twitter or something and you know, tell me what you think about like CRISPR gene editing tech. Tell me what you think about you know, whatever. The show, I guess, sure. You could talk to me about that. I don't really care. That makes me sound like such a dick. Either way, again, I wanted to shout out all the listeners that may be listening. I have no idea who you are. I would like to get to know you if you're out there. Shout out to my Washington State listeners in general. East, West, Central Washington. I feel like y'all get me. Maybe that's just because I've been born and fucking raised here. But y'all are great. And I also want to shout out, like I said, my co-host over here at Old Heart Radio, Lucas, aka Castle Roll on Instagram. He's busting ass, man. He's helping me get these shows off the ground, man. He's got his own show going while he's like busting ass doing these fucking things with me. Check out his program, In Tune, man. He's talking about some music. He's busting them out. It's cool. It's groovy. It's making me check out shit. I was just listening to the new one, and it's kind of about fucking Steve from Stranger Things and his actual like activity in music. But either way, this has been an episode of Coffee and Contemplation. You know, where I apparently just ramble and contemplate about things and talk about shit that blows my mind. And I try to learn something every day. So, you know, come on and listen with me as I try to ripen up my coconut as best as I can. I'm always out here trying to use my brain for good. I suggest you do too. And anyway, if you haven't been listening, thank you. And as always, everybody, dear everybody, keep your sticks on the ice.